Wow, not like W-O-W, but like W-A-W. What a weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Rising Stars. I am your host, MUDARIKI, and I have no idea how I'm going to explain to you the spectacular, amazing standard of excellence that was shown this weekend, as well as some exciting things to come up. So if you like entertaining sports media and watching the best and brightest stars in the nation battle for success and victory, you're in the right place. Take a seat and get ready to have your life changed. Guess what's happening in Kigali, Rwanda? Our brilliant HPC Zimbabwe team is performing at the T20 Ladies Kwibuka tournament. And surprisingly, guess what? People are like, Zimbabweans, chevrons. No, let's focus on the ladies team right now. So shout outs to our ladies over there for winning and doing amazing against Tanzania. It was not an easy fight. It was not an easy battle, of course. But guess what? Between June 3rd all the way to June 14th, there's still more that they could do for the nation. And we are supporting you all the way, ladies. We can't wait to see what you do in Kigali, Rwanda. You have our full support. And guess what's also happening? There's a flame that lights up in all of our hearts when it comes to sports. There are individuals that train for over 4 years for specific events that have little colored rings and a flame that happens. And guess what this is? I think you guys might have a little hint. If I say the name Michael Phelps, Usain Bolt, Kirsty Coventry, who comes to your mind? Olympians, right? So guess what's happening? International Olympic Day on June 23rd is coming up. And to celebrate as Zimbabweans, our very own Zimbabwe Olympic Committee is doing something quite special. At Mufakose High, guess what's happening? 5 kilometer to 10 kilometer runs at 7 a.m. sharp are going to be partaking. So guys, let's get ready, let's get fit, get those hokas out, get the all controls out, let's get fit, let's get active and support the Zimbabwe Olympic Committee as well as Mufakose High School as they celebrate Zimbabwe's Olympic Day. It's time to get exercising, time to get fit. Let's celebrate the spirit of the Olympics. So in the amazing world of rugby, we recently caught up with some amazing new individuals. Guess what? The Under 18 Academy is now organized. Let's hear from some of their individuals right now as they're preparing for their tour in July in South Africa. You know what, Springboks, they're really good, yes, but I think this brand new generation of Sables is about to give them quite the competition. So listen carefully to what the future of Zimbabwe rugby is saying.
My name is Connor Lovett. I go to St. John's College and the positions I play are second centre and fullback. You know, it's good. It's definitely different compared to last year because I played hockey in Form 4. Coming to rugby last year was also a big change for me. But yeah, I think this team this year is different to the last. More speed and agility, I think, is on our side this year. And just, overall team chemistry is also there.
Let's have all across before we get there.
We always go forward. So when he starts moving, you guys go forward, meet him. It's not full contact, like I said. Just make it a little bit difficult for him to get to ground. The guy with the ball, fight your way to the ground. Make sure you place and fall correctly. Let's go.
Yeah, you know, I think you just have to, if you have a goal, you have to stick to it and you have to work hard. If people tell you you can't do it, you mustn't let them get to you. Just stay focused on that, work hard and stick to your dream.
What is happening in the world of rugby? Guess what? Your iconic Gandhi College and the Dragons of St. George's came and had a battle for the ages. A true standard of excellence, a true tale of performance, a tale older than time. When the Dragons come, they always shine. Shout out to my boys. My Dragons keep on doing it week after week. There's also some interesting work happening in another field of sport. Hockey. And the ladies of Arundel. In the first half, it was a bit confusing. People were a bit disappointed. But bam, in the last shaka, they chucked in 2 goals. So it was a 3-2 victory. You see, it's tight. It's tight. It's neck and neck. in the last couple of years, I personally believe that I'm playing the best rugby of my career at the moment, simply by that shared leadership of giving someone the opportunity to take on a certain role, which takes a lot of pressure off me.
That's amazing. What about the kids out there? Because you're not just a player, you're also a philanthropist as well.
Yeah.
You've got tons of kids impacted just by you being there. It's like not falling the 80 minutes, but also in terms of your corporate social responsibility.
Yeah.
So how are you helping out some of the kids in these communities?
Yeah, I believe it's very important. I was just very fortunate, very lucky to attend a great school, to have certain opportunities that some kids might not necessarily get the opportunity to. And for me, I feel that it's super important that I give back. There might be that one kid, so I live out in Goromonzi, so there's a lot of work that we're working on there, just supporting kids that are in the area, that are in farm schools around the area. I could play a little impact in someone's in a kid's life, and they might then get that opportunity to be the next HiLTON MUDARIKI who captains the Sables. So that's a big thing for me. It's an opportunity to give back, an opportunity to change someone's life, and there's a lot more work that I still believe that I can do, and that I will be trying to do in the next couple of years.
So like, how are you going to impact schoolboy rugby in the future? Because you've been Tage, you've seen the SA market, John. So how would you improve schoolboy rugby?
Look, schoolboy rugby, I believe in Zimbabwe is pretty strong. I mean, I think in the last couple of years it's gone down a little bit, but I still believe we're still there. I think the most important thing for us is to continue allowing the kids to have as much fun as possible. I believe that schoolboy rugby at the moment is being taken so seriously, where the boys are not necessarily playing because they love the sport, but there's so much pressures coming from their parents, coming from their coaches, and we see a lot of kids going down the wrong road of taking illegal substances and things like that because of the pressures. So if we can get to a point where there's the love of the sport again, I believe that will impact the development of schoolboy rugby in this country.
Tell me more about that, like in terms of impacting the kids in terms of drug awareness.
Yes, I mean it's very big. I went to, as I said, I went to school in South Africa. It's something that I saw firsthand, where there's so much pressure to play first team rugby. People go above and beyond, and they'll do anything and everything to play first team rugby or to play provincial rugby. But if you look in the long term, is it really worth it? We've seen a lot of guys get tested, get banned, their careers are over, because of just trying to play in that first team or make that team. Their whole life is impacted. Their whole life is pretty much ruined because of a poor decision. So it's super important that if the education side of it is put on a lot more in terms of children learning what's good to take, what's not good to take. I mean, to this day, us as international players are literally told by our team doctors, by our team physios every single time, whatever you're taking, just report it. Whether it's a cough syrup, whether it's a headache pill, whatever it is, just make sure that you report it, because you never actually know what's in those supplements.
Oh, you're so right, because we really need to create a more holistic culture towards actually reducing these performance-enhancing drugs, especially in the game.
Yeah.
Because we want people to just have a healthy, genuine, organic sport.
100%.
But what would you say would act as a really big setback or challenge within your career that acted as quite the learning curve? What was a moment where you're like, wow, this loss was a big loss.
Yeah.
But we have to pivot, we have to keep going.
Oh, I think in 2014, so I was still in my early years of the Sables at that point in time, and we're playing in a World Cup qualifier. We were playing against, I remember this day very clearly, we were playing against Kenya in Madagascar. We needed to score, we needed a bonus point win to qualify for the World Cup. And we went into the Kenya game, had a great game. We scored 3 tries. I remember there was about 7-8 minutes left. We get a penalty, Kenya get a yellow card, and we went for poles instead of going for touch. Our maul had worked so well that day, our forwards were dominating. I mean, it's an easy decision, kick out into the corner, maul them, score the try, you get your four tries, you go to the World Cup. So that happened. We went for poles, and we didn't end up qualifying for the World Cup. And to date, that's the closest that I've ever been to qualifying for a World Cup after quite a few attempts. Another one is we're playing in a sevens final against Kenya again, the exact same year, actually a few months down the line. We had Olympic qualifiers. We get into the final. Last minute, we score a try, which potentially was the winning try. We're going to the Olympics. Like that, that's it. And then the ref said that there was time for one more kickoff. We kicked off. Kenya got the ball, ran the length of the field, scored a try, and that was the Olympic dream gone. Just like that, within seconds. And this all happened in the exact same year. So really testing times, you start asking yourself questions of, where did we go wrong? What's actually happening? And it was a tough time to come back and to carry on going again. Zimbabwe Rugby kind of went into a dip at that point in time. So yeah, it was super tough, but we've managed to get out of it, which is awesome.
So true, because you've been doing amazing, and like not just from Zambia, Botswana, but now there's so much more ahead. There's so much that can be improved upon. We're improving, and things are getting better because we had a bit of a nosedive, but how are we working towards the next skyrocket now? Yeah, we definitely are, and I think last year definitely opened it up for us when Coach Pete came into the system. He came in with different ideas, a different way of coaching, something that a lot of us hadn't been exposed to. And also I think the quality of players that we now have in our team has definitely raised the bar to the next level. So there's a lot more competition within the team, and I think this year is going to be even harder to make the team, with a lot of guys putting their hands up, a lot of guys stepping up. If you look at the last couple of fixtures we've played, the Zambia fixture, the Botswana fixture, I mean, a lot of boys have stepped up, and this is all local boys. We don't even have any international guys that have come in yet. But those are the kind of headaches you want to create, where the coaches are saying, oh, this is, they're sitting in a selection meeting for hours and hours trying to decide on 2 players. That's exactly what you want. A lot of competition within the team. Wow, so we've already talked about the setbacks and challenges. And what was the best feeling? Because you've been playing for over a decade now. What was the best feeling that touched you? You can't go too far away from the win against Namibia. You can't. I mean, you cannot. Breaking a 23 years. Come on. 23 years. And to do it in the fashion that we did it was truly special. And I just remember the feeling going into that fixture. So obviously we were playing in the Africa Cup, where you don't necessarily have a normal test week where you have the whole 5 days to prepare and then you play on a Saturday. It was play and then you have a turnaround of I think 3 days and then you're playing again. And we had just come out of a very tough fixture against Uganda, where we scraped in and we got the win. Next one was the semi-final against Namibia, but I just remember the calmness in the team, the confidence in the team, something that I hadn't felt in 10 years of playing for the Sables. And you almost had that little feeling inside of you of today's the day. Like, today is the day. Obviously you're not shouting it out at the top of your lungs, but I just had a feeling deep inside me that today was the day, and everything just came together that day. So you definitely can't go away from that. Right just behind it is obviously lifting the Africa Cup, something that we hadn't done since 2012. So huge achievement for us in a space of a couple of days. Wow, so how can we improve the system, the entire ecosystem around rugby to replicate this, but not just like for the national stage, but also for the younger guys as well? How can we consistently replicate that? It's not just the Africa Cup, but not just the Currie Cup, but we even get the World Cup as well. I think the most important thing is just making sure that from schoolboy rugby, there's consistency going all the way up. When we get to high school rugby, I still believe we're still competitive. We still have talented rugby players that are playing high school rugby, but the biggest gap that we need to fill in is between that under 20 going into Sables. A lot of the under 20 boys head overseas and then we don't see them for a while. Going to France, going to South Africa, going to the UK. Some are even giving up. Some talented players are giving up. So if we can bridge that gap, I think Zim Rugby will just be on the up. We get to keep our talent. Obviously, it's a work in progress, but it's up to our generation now to make sure that we can change that by qualifying for a World Cup. That then attracts a lot more investors, a lot more people become attracted to the game, which could then allow us to go professional in a couple of years' time. And I think if we can get there, you'll find that Zimbabwe Rugby will definitely be on the up.
Wow. So you've played for both 15s and 7s, the Cheetahs and the Sables.
Yeah.
So I know it's a different atmosphere in both teams. So how did you manage playing in those different atmospheres?
Oh, I got called up to the 7s, I think when I was, must have been 19. Yep, I was a child. I was studying in the UK, playing a bit of university rugby. I wasn't kind of sure what I wanted to do in terms of carry on with sport or not. And Bruce Hobson, who was the manager at the time, when the Cheetahs were touring the UK, they were playing in the London 7s, just said, come and train with us for a week whilst we're there. So I got to train at some of the legends, the Fortune Chipendus, the Tanganya Madiras, the Gordon Nechironga. So I got to rub shoulders with them and train with them. And that's when I decided, actually, you know what, I actually want to try and give this a proper go. So got into that whole system, and then from there, Liam Middleton was the 7s coach at the time, but also involved with the 15s. Then he dragged me in there. So initially, when I was younger, balancing between the two was pretty easy. You're young, you're energetic, you can kind of get through it. But as you get older,
I got the family now.
As you get older, you need to decide, okay, my body can't really take both codes, so you kind of need to make a decision. And then, that was an easy decision for me going the 15s route, because that was always the dream.
I mean, you have an entire nation backing you. People from Chegu to Kadoma, Harare, Mashingo, Mutare are all backing you. I mean, do you feel ready for the World Cup?
Look, I think we're just taking it a day at a time, and I think it's so important that you don't look ahead. You just take it one day at a time, one game at a time. It's always something that I stress to the guys. So everything is just a build-up. You can't look too far ahead before you cross the game that's coming up or the day that's coming up. And we just slowly just tick it off, and we just build that momentum going into the big one in a few months' time.
I mean, are there some particular people that would you say have helped you across in this journey, though?
Oh, definitely. I can't look past my mom and my brother. They've been biggest. They've been my biggest supporters. And whether it's a good day on the rugby field, a bad day on the rugby field, they're always in my corner, always supporting me, giving me advice. My mom has been in a leadership position for 10 plus years, so she has a wealth of experience of how to deal with people. It might be a different industry, but it's something that I can definitely tap off, and she's always an encouragement to me. My brother is one of my biggest supporters. He pushes me, watches me play. We get to watch our games, so whenever he's playing, I'll watch him. Whenever I play, he'll watch me, give each other pointers on where we can improve. So that kind of support is super important. Not going to forget my girlfriend Chido as well. Never misses a game. Even if we're playing against police at 12 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, where she could be doing other things, she's there supporting me. And I appreciate that. The love that you get from people around you is super important. And then my teammates, guys that back me, in terms of the decisions that I make on the field, they're always there supporting me. And we're building such a great culture within the Sable squad right now, that as people come in, they automatically feel part of the family, feel part of the team, and that's, I believe, one of our biggest things that have made us successful.
I mean, there are probably millions of kids out there looking up to you every single day. What would you like to tell just a little 10-year-old boy that's just picked up his first rugby ball? How can he really participate in the necessary strategies to get where you are today?
I think hard work always pays off. It's a motto that I've lived by since I was very young. I mean, since I made the decision that I wanted to be a sportsman, I put in hours and hours and hours of work. Whether it's giving up a bit of time to when I was younger back then, play PlayStation, or a little bit older now, hanging out with friends. Sometimes those sacrifices that you make will eventually pay off at the end of the day. And like I said earlier, I believe in hard work. I believe in being the hardest worker in the room every single time. If I get an opportunity to do extras, to put in that extra pass, that extra kick, I know that I'm going to be rewarded. It might not be now, but it might be in a week's time, or a month's time, or a couple of years' time. If I can just leave that kid with two things, is hard work and enjoy. and enjoy, because it doesn't last for long. You know, when you're a young kid coming in, as I was a young 21-year-old, I thought I had all the time in the world. And if I just look now, it seems like, you know, it's flown by. 10 years have gone, 52 caps now for the Sables, and it's flown by. So you never get an opportunity to relive it. So when you're in that moment, just live it and enjoy it.
Wow, 52 caps is insane. That's record breaking. I mean, wow. But now as the Sables are really getting towards the World Cup stage with all the pressure building, how are you now taking care of yourself there? Because we really neglect the area of personal care in terms of mental health, especially for a lot of athletes.
Yes.
I mean, what do you really partake in terms of your ritual? You know, in the morning you go, wake up, do 60,000 push-ups or something, you know, what do you do?
Routine is very important, and I think I've taken my recovery pretty seriously over the last couple of years. I'll probably say the last 4 or 5 years, I've been very religious with my recovery. So, you know, things like stretching, getting into an ice bath, which I absolutely hate with a passion. With a passion. But that's allowed me to let my career go on for a little bit longer. Whereas if you look at some guys, you know, they'll start, you know, tapering off when they get to their early 30s. And so for me, I feel like I'm in great shape at the moment. I feel like I'm in a good space. And that's just through routine and making sure that, you know, things that I need to do, I'm making sure that I tick that off. As you said, mental health is a big thing. It's something that I'm super passionate about. You know, I've had a lot of struggles in the past, and it's something that I've been able to speak about over the last couple of years. And I believe that it's super important that us as men are able to share how we feel. And as I said earlier, this is something that we've brought into the Sables, and I think something that's making us very successful. You know, the opportunity to, you know, if you're on a tour, go knock on someone's door, someone that you're close to, and just say, listen, I'm not feeling too great today, or I'm struggling, or whatever it might be. And having the feeling of going to someone and not being judged, because I think as men, that's our biggest thing. We're super afraid of what is the other guy going to think of me. If I go to another man and say, listen, I'm struggling, he might, in your head, you might be thinking he's saying, oh, look, this guy's weak. But that's not it. You know, we're there for each other, and we need to support each other. And that's something that we are driving, something that I'm super passionate about, as I've said, and I'm trying to drive to make sure that, you know, I'm a knock away from someone approaching me and saying, listen, I need to have a chat, I'm not feeling too great. So yeah, it's super important. It's a very important subject that needs to be continuously talked about, especially in the world of sport, especially as you're getting closer and closer to that time when you have to give up.
So what's your long-term vision for rugby in Zimbabwe though?
Look, I think us getting to a stage where we're professional is probably the end goal for me, and being regulars at a Rugby World Cup, being regulars at winning Africa Cups. And I believe that we have the ingredients to do that, we have the tools to do that, but it's just about everyone buying in, so everyone being the players, the supporters, corporates, everyone coming together, and with that common goal of getting to where we need to get to, back on the world stage where we belong. And I believe that we're getting there slowly but surely. Just definitely need everyone buying in, and the buy-in is being felt at the moment, which is so cool.
Wow, I've loved every single second of this. I mean, but sadly, all good things must come to an end. So what's a piece of advice you want to tell everyone at home right now? Just a few words of encouragement or anything? Maybe a shout out to your girlfriend? I don't know. What do you want to say to everyone?
No, I just want to say, thank you so much for the support over, throughout my career, and for the Sables over the last couple of months and years. We really have felt it and appreciated it. We know that we've got a tough task at hand, but the boys are working super hard, to get us over that finish line. We know it's not going to be easy, but with your support, with everyone coming together and supporting us, I truly believe that we can get there. So thank you so much, Zimbabwe, for your continued support.
Thank you. So we've just had the living legend himself, HiLTON MUDARIKI, over here on Rising Stars Media. As we give you always the best of the best, he's the best in the game and doesn't get better than this. So please stay tuned for more information on Rising Stars and the best in media. See you next time.